It's been a week since I've been abducted by Moffun. I keep trying to run away, but every time, I keep getting taken in by the warm fuzzies. You too, huh? The hell are you? Don't worry about it. I've been stuck here a while. Out one gate, into another one. But if you think Moffun's bad, wait until you meet Minifoon. Give it to the trouble! Peace talks my ass. Raculus is out here for his own benefit, as to be expected. With KingOhger dropping more dates on the fury of the gods, as well as finally giving Rita some much needed backstory. How things go? Well, cuddly, because this week's KingOhger is brought to you by copyright infringement. As Toei takes another one of my video bits with my pet mommy and making it Moffun related. I know it's coincidence that this keeps happening, because this is not the first time, but I can't help but wonder if they actually got staff watching my stuff. Either way, let's get to what we got with this week's KingOhger. Rita is stuck with their own personal conundrum. Although they can try to shell out the cash to get that new Moffun doll, there's actually one in their evidence pile. Enough mental gymnastics, and it's time to commit internal theft. That is, until Morphonia suggests taking a trip to Ishibana to get their hands on that mini Moffun the legal way. The event to celebrate is that it's been 15 years since Rita got promotions! And tried their first case. Meet Chiron, former husband of the previous royal and serving life sentence for her death. Using a poison that looks all too familiar, but that's his story, and he's sticking to it. Rita realizes that this poison looks familiar, especially given a recent tangent Himeno was on, with the dates adding up. Yeah, there's something here. As all roads point to the fury of the gods, Rita is on the move for not Moffun. But while we're at it, we get two prisoners definitely not dressed for the weather, putting in that hard labor. They're stuck digging up the back of the castle, but that's because the front has already been covered by Shia LaBeouf this whole time. Oh yeah, last week we had some negotiation talks between Raculus and the Bugnarok, right? So what's the result of that? Oh wait, there's bugs in Enkasoba. I mean, knowing who had the talks, and knowing his character, you can kind of guess where we're going, right? We now return to Waifu Wars, postponed for the last few months. Hibiki's still gone, though. Is Kaiza in there, though? Oh my god! You drink, my guy? My man! You know what? But not for this video. Let's go over to Hibiki's place and just trash the whole place up. So with that, we've reached some understanding. Since Rita tries to return that evidence, but the correlation to both of them becoming rulers at an early age means that there's some common ground between the two of them. But Rita can't deal with the chit-chat because they gotta be impartial. Which is exactly why they consistently try to take the easy way out if it wasn't for Mophonia's heavy lifting. Outside of this week's Monster of the Week being brought to you by the movie Holes, featuring Shia LaBeouf in a role Liam Neeson was typecasted to play. We find out that Kamajin is specifically after Chiron, since he knows some shit. What's he know? Well, Rita, with the cooperation of Himeno, deduces that the poison used was the same one used on Himeno's parents. Meaning, he knows who's responsible for the Fury of the Gods.
Furious Godfest 08.
So, what really happened? There was someone responsible for the events 15 years ago. No shit, okay? But it fell outside of the justice system, meaning that in order to cast judgment, the former sovereign chose to fake her death in order to safeguard that prisoner. Supposedly, it was to keep Gokhan neutral, so the secret had to be kept regarding their identity, and Lil Rita was made the replacement as her retainer at age 10. Chiron was just waiting until they were smart enough to figure it out to give that revelation. So Chiron gets freed, but not if Shia LaBeouf can take it. Giving us Dojutsu Rita back in action, with Himeno to help.
So just do it!
But Shia won't take this small, and gets the drugs from Kamijin to go bigly, just for Jeremy to pull out the big boot. So after the fighting is over, Himeno decides to give Rita a gift, but you can't bribe a judge, so she just leaves it out as trash. P Bandai Trash Mini Moffun. Oh yeah, so what was the deal with the Bugnarok attacking Enkasopa? Well, as it turns out, Rakulus's peace negotiations only benefited himself and the Bugnarok. Since now the peace talk should be on who wants to join in this greater empire. Rating time! So, this episode in itself gave us some more of that big meaty lore that I enjoy taking in. Rita gets a bit more fleshing out, and the hierarchy system for Gokhan as well as its neutrality plays a large role in things. They definitely cooking, and for that reason, this episode gets the Spider-Man axe! Okay, look, I know I've gotten some flack in the comments section regarding the hierarchy system in this show, and I've mentioned this in previous reviews, how the prevailing theory is that since Yanma created the suits, the royal authority was only based on the current kings of that time. Thus, why the ancestry is kind of thrown out the window. But that was prevailing speculation to be had given what we've been shown. But since it hasn't been outright stated in the show, that's why I kept second guessing it. So moving on, we find out that Rita was the retainer to the previous Judge Karis at the age of 5, took over at the age of 10, which is why Morphonia, being her retainer, also falls down that line of succession. Now, this isn't the case with every nation, it seems to be Gokhan specific. Now, we don't know why Rita chose Morphonia as her retainer or when, but I do find it interesting that she shares similar hair color to Karis, which might imply some sort of familial tie. The awkward thing is, if they are related, then Chiron had a weird way of showing it. Either that, well, the man knows how to keep his secrets. They also didn't give us any information regarding Rita's eye, so I'm guessing that will all get revealed later on. The major point is that the assailant from the Fury of the Gods is not only still alive, but in order to maintain neutrality, Karis had to fake her own death just to keep the one responsible isolated. That clearly implies that the one responsible is likely a royal themselves. Now, I really hope that they don't go the Man in the Iron Mask route, but I kinda think they're gonna go the Man in the Iron Mask route. Let me explain. When we were all teased the figure responsible for the Fury of the Gods, a lot of folks there were speculating that it was Rakulus, myself included. Now, there's a romanticized story that was later made into a film, actually 3 of them, about a very real prisoner in France that was speculated to be the twin brother of King Louis XIV. And in order to keep the dispute of the throne from subjectivity, was made a lifelong prisoner. Their face hidden so no one could ever make the correlation. So it could be possible that Rakulus did cause the events of the Fury of the Gods, except it wasn't the Rakulus we know, but his twin brother. But actually Rakulus. The original Rakulus could have been as kind as Giro remembers, but there might have been another brother that he just doesn't remember. One that was up to no good and possibly isolated from the rest of the family. That when the Fury of the Gods occurred and they tracked him down, they ended up taking the real Rakulus instead, leaving the unknown brother to assume the identity. Now look, this is just rampant speculation, and there's a 99% chance that I'm probably wrong, but y'all should know me by now, and I'm completely in the speculation game. Another thing I gotta call out is something someone mentioned in one of my live streams, that they think that what the Bugnarok eat to grow big might actually be Rainbow Jujuria, which left me in another train of thought. Since the show in the very beginning had a very Attack on Titans vibe, what if it's revealed that Gira unknowingly had a hand in the fury of the gods, since if a side effect of the Rainbow Jujuria is growing large and out of control, this man went full Titan and then got memory hazy after that fact. See, now we're completely speculating. Anyway, back to the actual speculation that we got this episode. Raculus being a dick. That's right, it didn't shock me that he made a deal with the Bugnarok that would ultimately benefit him. It's completely on brand. The second we see the bugs in Enkisopa, and knowing this man's hate for Yanma made it all the more clear to figure out. He's made an alliance with Tofu, and now the Bugnarok, so it's just taking everyone down bit by bit until he gets what he wants. This really is a smart and calculated bad guy that isn't really so bad from time to time. So, what did you think about this week's KingOhger? Lil Rita, big judge, Raculus keeping that D game strong, and those Moffun plushies. Anyway, that's it for me. Until next time, I'm gonna go drink up with Psycho Kaiser. Bye.